Okay, so I'm going to talk about consciousness, and I'm going to say that consciousness doesn't exist, or at least we can't know anything about consciousness. We can't know whether it exists, and we can't know anything else about it. So, for all intents and purposes, it doesn't exist. And so, first, let me say, what am I talking about when I say consciousness? I'm just going to go with the common sense definition that consciousness is experience. So uh, that's not the only way to define it. Some philosophers may define it other ways, but we'll just say it's just everyday experience. So it would be things like sights, I see stuff, and sounds, smells, tastes, physical sensations, physical pains, um, thoughts, feelings, emotions, uh, memories. So, like when you're recalling a memory or remembering something, that's part of experience. Uh, Hallucinations, imagination, dreams, all that stuff, those would all be kinds of experiences. And then you could say that uh, the sense of time passing or the feeling of time flowing is part of experience or maybe a dimension of experience. And the feeling of space, like the feeling that there is space and there's things in space, uh, you could also say that's part of experience. So it's just, I think that fits with most everyday ideas of experience. But one thing to notice, and one thing that's kind of a red flag there, is how we're just combining all these different things. You got smells and tastes and thoughts and dreams and time and whatever. Uh, since we're sort of combining these seemingly pretty different things, it might suggest that experience is not really a coherent concept, and maybe it doesn't exist. So, this idea that experience or consciousness doesn't exist is usually it has a pretty hostile reception. Most people would not agree. In fact, most people would say that consciousness is the most fundamental thing. It's the one thing that I know exists, right? I know I'm conscious. I know I'm having experience. I might not know anything else. Everything else I think I know might be wrong, but this I know, right? That's often how people respond to this claim. Uh, but that's not the only response. There are people who say that consciousness doesn't exist. Some philosophers, you can Google consciousness, you can Google uh, eliminativism. Uh, so there are some ideas there. I'm the path I'm going to go is probably different than most of those philosophers, but you can check it out. Um, so yeah, just wanted to introduce the idea that there's no there's no consciousness, there's no experience, and I'll continue in future videos.